Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm delighted to be with you and have a small presentation on the two main topics maybe our time is facing. I mean, both the digital revolution and the need to tackle climate change. So I think through that small speech I will elaborate for you. We'll have to see whether or not we're able to reconcile the both needs, be more digital friendly and tackle climate change. The gas network is something at, in the middle of many evolutions. It's a network. As a network, it connects different things. First, it's a way, and we have the need to be good on that topic. It's a way to improve energy management. It's our conviction. Through demand-side management, we are able to tackle climate change through a diminution of energy consumption. On another side, and Suzanne elaborates a lot on that topic, the gas network, the gas grid, is able to foster circular economy and developing local green jobs. The figures, 2 to 3 jobs for a plant, and a plant is producing enough energy for, 1,000 people. So with for 1,000 homes, 2 to 3 jobs, local green jobs. A third dimension is that gas is now a good solution to reduce the emissions, especially for transport. We all have heating in mind, but also for transport. If you switch from diesel to gas, you have a huge progress in carbon emissions and also for noise. So gas is also a solution for transportation. Another dimension is the ability from the gas network to provide a solution for the power grid. Sector coupling is not only a word, it's also a reality. Using gas turbine fuel cells, you are able, and I will elaborate a bit more on that topic, to provide solutions for another grid, for the power grid. And last but not least, we all face a huge necessity, which is to use intermittent energies and to provide a storage solution. And the gas network is the storage solution for those energies we are facing difficulties to use at the moment. So that is the environmental challenge we are facing, but the smart gas grid is also the other dimension of the same coin. We already have new equipment, that is nanotechnologies, sensors, smart metering. In France, 4 million of our gas consumers are already measured through smart metering, and we are able to go through our 11 million consumers in really a short time. So new equipment, new ways of collecting data, that is Internet of Things naturally, but also an infrastructure of communication, new ways of treating data. Big data is the solution. Now we're talking about artificial intelligence, blockchains and other solutions. And that is the crux of our activity, new ways of monitoring the network. We need to change the way of having the monitoring of our network, especially to in the perspective of having both hydrogen, biomethane with natural gas in our network, that is a new need of metering and monitoring. Excuse me. I will have the joy to present you the main ideas of my presentation through a small movie and elaborate a bit more on those topics later.
The gas transmission network is the backbone of the gas infrastructure. Transmission system operators manage the daily balancing. To meet this need, their network has been smart for a long time and is managed by dispatching centers. Traditionally, gas is transmitted from the transmission grid to the distribution grid. Biomethane has been started in France since 2011 with a decentralized production of green gas. This is shaking up the traditional model for network operation due to the emergence of local injection flows. For example, in some areas during summer, the quantity of biomethane produced may be higher than consumption by final clients. To address this issue and ensure that all the biomethane produced is injected, the network will become bidirectional thanks to reverse flow units. This is what the West Grid Synergy project is aiming at. In the longer term, the gas network will offer a solution for the flexibility of the power system, which is more and more constrained by the development of intermittent renewable energies. The gas network will hence reinforce its major role in the global energy system. The quantity of intermittent renewable energies will increase in the power generation mix. As a consequence, there will be periods when supply will not match demand. On the contrary, gas infrastructure can offer interseasonal storage as well as considerable flexibility. Therefore, the question is how coupling networks can ensure a more cost-effective energy transition. Power to gas, by coupling gas and electricity networks, will provide an upstream solution for managing substantial interseasonal surplus generation of intermittent renewable energy. Electricity is transformed into hydrogen through an electrolysis process. This hydrogen can then be injected directly into the network, which is diluted with natural gas, or be transformed into methane using a methanation process. At the end, the produced hydrogen or methane can be injected into the network. Two major demonstration projects in France are focusing on these issues: GRID and Jupiter 1000. Network coupling solutions are also developed at local level with smart gas solutions such as micro cogeneration units, fuel cells and hybrid boilers, offering both very good energy efficiency and the ability to provide solutions to alleviate the local constraints of the power grid. The demonstrator Nice Smart Valley is giving these solutions a trial run. To facilitate these developments and offer more services to end consumers and local communities, the gas network is going more digital by acquiring more smart sensors and meters. The distribution system will also have a supervision center to manage operations in greater detail. Finally, the gas network is becoming more efficient. It is also producing data for its external stakeholders, such as local authorities and energy service players.
Now, if you had all the ideas of my presentation in a short movie, but I will elaborate a bit more on four demonstrators we are at the moment developing. So, because the most important is not to talk about it, but to make it real. So on the first side, Addict, that project is a project of energy efficiency. So through developing new APIs and new ways to access to data, we have the bet that new actors will offer energy solutions to the consumers and in a way that is able to reduce them. The second project I will elaborate a bit more is West Grid Synergy. As you seen on the movie. We have biomethane plants in the west area having more production than use from consumers. So in that project, we develop reverse flow solutions in order to use the renewable gas for the rest of the grid. The third demonstrator is in Nice, in south France, and is a demonstrator of sector coupling. The main idea there is to offer flexibility to the power grid through hybrid boilers or micro CHPs. And eventually, grid in the north of France is our demonstrator of injecting hydrogen in our system in order to verify the absence of problem. And I can already say to you that with 20% of hydrogen, no problem is, we had no problem with exploiting the gas system. So on the data side, that slide is elaborating a bit more through the main objective for first open data to facilitate the access to their consumptions from consumers, aggregated data on demand with an authorization, because it's no way that people access to data without the personal consentment of consumers, and the ability for the individuals to access their consumptions. In order to do all of that, we built an agency with our friends of the power system to have a common platform to access data from an energetic point of view, and to allow companies to startups to develop new solutions. This agency is ORE, so we developed a comprehensive view on the energetic data. The first project, the first demonstrator is EDICT. 3 ideas. First, what? It's a way to access to raw data. Who? The company, startups, cities, public organization needing data to elaborate and implement new strategies, and how with a collaboration with 25 third-party partners on the design of our solution. That demonstrator is already on the way to be achieved. The second demonstrator was Grid Synergy, so in the west of France, a project launched 2 years ago, and in order to develop reverse flow solutions. I think what is the most interesting is the philosophy we're developing there. We're able to have self-sufficient energetic territories, and that's something that citizens as well as local authorities are really fan of. The second thing is you have a bidirectional grid, what is a common idea for the power grids, but it's quite new for the gas one. So we are becoming also a bidirectional grid. Another demonstrator, that is how to offer the power system flexibility through the gas system. It's the best example we have implemented of the sector coupling. We provide through micro CHPs and hybrid heating boilers a flexibility when the power grids need it. So with remote control and monitoring of our of the CHPs and of the heating system, you have the ability to offer flexibility to the power system. And finally, last but not least, a demonstrator where we provided to a hospital and 100 homes gas blended with hydrogen. So we started with a very low rate of hydrogen. We have reached 20%, and an injection was a success. So we had both parts of the projects: first production, storage, and injection of H2, and a real live test with real people claiming that everything's okay. Thank you for your attention, and I will be pleased to answer a few questions if you have some.
For the question.
In the demonstrator project for the hydrogen injection, you said 20% was no problem, but I was just curious, to what extent did you test end-use applications, and also what materials were involved in the pipeline?
It was a small grid in order to have a live experience. So with polyethylene, like always, it was a small grid, so we didn't experience yet a wide project, but I think there is not such occasions to really make it, and not only test in, science building, but also on the real life. May I introduce you, Julie?
Good afternoon. I'm working in Alexis team. I just wanted to give you a complementary answer to your question. Just to give you a complementary answer. We tested the network materials as well as the end user equipment in a laboratory before, up to 20%. We tested the constraints on the raw materials and so on. And then we have several tests during the field test to ensure everything is okay. So that's why Alexis said everything is okay with 20%. Till now, we did not identify any issues up to 20% in blending with hydrogen. And this is confirmed by other demonstrators with the same level of hydrogen in Europe. You have 2 or 3 demonstrators having tested that in Ameland, in Netherlands, and also I think there is another one in Germany. So that's what we know. Just to underline that the network in Dunkirk is a new network. So we know every part of the network. This was not a test on an existing network.